Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to pair your crayfishes. This is the male and he lost one of his claws because, when it was molting, he was a loser and then he lost his claw to one of the females. The other females are doing great. But anyway, so this 20-gallon tank houses 3 crayfishes, one male as you just saw, and then 2 other females. I wanted them to, breed and mate and all that stuff, but due to the male's lack of a claw, because as you guys saw in my previous video, a male needs his claws to hold down the female. So without his claws, he's essentially useless in breeding. So I'll just have to watch. But this shrimp is so pretty. This is a fire red. Anyway, so right underneath there's 3 10-gallon tanks, and then these 2 10-gallon tanks that you see house a total of 4 crayfishes. And in this 10-gallon tank, this is the male that you see right here, and this is a female. I will do another video in terms of how to identify and differentiate the male and female, but in this video I'll just show you guys and tell you guys how to properly pair your crayfishes. So first you're gonna have to identify the male and female, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna try to house them together, but it takes some time for them to get used to one another. What I usually do when I get the crayfishes from the fish store or wherever I get them, I usually identify the male and female and then try to pair 2 females with 1 male. And when usually the male is, a little bit attracted to the female, I think it takes just a couple of minutes for the male to be, settled with the female. Oh, what is he doing? She's like panicking. But anyway, yeah, it takes a couple of minutes. So in the process of housing these 2 females and the male together, to put them in your own tank, you'll be able to tell if the male or female isn't too aggressive with each other, then they will most likely become a pair in the future. I'm not saying right away. Sometimes they do mate like right away, like 5 minutes after you put them in the quarantine tank together. The male and female mates. That happens quite often for me, but I'm not sure about your case. But you'll be able to tell when the male doesn't fight too much with the females that he's quarantining with, they will most likely pair up. And once you find that pair, like I did in this tank, you want to put the male and females together. You never want to put 2 males in one tank because the males towards each other, they're very aggressive. And this is one of the results. This right here, this is what happens when you put an aggressive male with another male or a female. So this in this case is a female, and she lost every single one of her antennas. So regular normal crayfish should have antennas in the front like that. But this one, due to the aggressiveness of this crayfish in this tank that I separated right there, this is the crayfish my ex-coworker Ted gave me. He's very strong, this guy right here, but he cut off all of her antennas. So you never want to put an aggressive male with other females or other males. And you'll be able to tell right away once you quarantine them together. In this case, the male doesn't do anything with the female, and female doesn't seem to approach male often, but they have already mated twice today. By that I mean they had sex twice. Right when I quarantined them, and then right after I put them in this tank. They were mating for about 5 minutes each. So that's plenty of time. What is she doing? I'm sorry, but that's plenty of time for the male to inject its sperm into the female, which is her. And as you can see, she lost, a little bit portion of her antennas, and I think this happened before I put her with this male. This male isn't exactly too aggressive towards her because after I put them together in this tank, they were mating, so you can tell that they're a good pair. And in the future, the female will most likely get buried, meaning she'll get pregnant and then have eggs under her belly. As of right now, she doesn't because this is her first day being with him, and then they barely just mated. But in this case, these are the little smaller size crayfishes. There's 2 in this 10-gallon tank, and this is the male. I can tell because I know my crayfishes. But that silly one back there is a female. And I was able to tell how when they were quarantining today, the male was approaching the female. However, the female wasn't too happy about the male approaching. And you'll be able to tell right away how the female isn't too happy with the male approaching, because you will hear like clicking sound, and that's claws, you know, clicking together. And you know, the female tries to escape, run away, and all that stuff. And then, as you can see in this tank, you know, she's trying to look for a place to escape or something. Not too close with the male, unlike these guys. These guys are, you know, a few inches apart. But these guys are like just, you know, from one side to the other side of the tank. So you'll be able to tell if there'll be a good pair or not. But if you're not too sure, if you won't be able to, if you don't find out right away when you quarantine them, or when you put them in the tank together, just you know, keep an eye out for these guys and make sure that these guys aren't fighting, because trust me, they can get aggressive. Like this one, the aggressive one will literally try to chop up the opponent, just like this. Like this one lost all of its antennas, and then this male in the beginning of the video, this one lost one of its claws. And in this 20-gallon tank that we have here, the male in here lost one of its claw too, due to the aggressiveness of a female. But he's back there healing, all happy, because he has this entire 20-gallon to himself, perfectly filtered. But yeah, so those are the ways that you can tell. And as you can see, these guys are not too aggressive. They're not approaching each other with aggressiveness or anything like that, or not too far apart. But as you can see, the male is actually, you know, like posing that pose, but he's not charging at all. So don't mistake posing with charging and showing aggressiveness. This is just a way of maybe appealing. Well, human will never know how these guys behave 100%, because we're not crayfishes. But you know, there are many different ways that you can tell, as long as they're not aggressive towards each other and not too far apart like these guys are. Then you can tell they're a good pair, and you can probably expect the female in the tank to get buried in a couple of weeks to a couple of months. But that's how you tell, and that's how you pair your crayfishes. And yeah, if you have any questions, or if you want me to do any other videos regarding this, leave a comment and like down below, and I will do another video for you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.